Welcome to the J Free 906 podcast. Jeff here with you, and I am in North Carolina right now with the North Carolina Treasure Hunters, Ross and Tim Fisher. You guys remember they were on the Curse of Oak Island, well, Beyond Oak Island show, when Matty and Nicolina, was that her name? They came out here and they did the show. Well, we had them on the podcast, and I got a link to that down in the description below. You can go down to the link and check it out. You got to watch that one. You get all the backstory. But I had to come out here first to meet you guys in person, but also find out what's going next. And right now, they found the gold dredge in the woods back here, and they've got it built up a lot. I got a lot of pictures I'll show you here in just a bit. But what's going on now with you guys? You got that second story or built on there? And
yeah, since the show aired, we've gotten it's basically a 3-story pilot house. All the way up to the top, like a little over 3 stories. A lot of work in a short period of time, and we're going 10 feet at a time. So we're 10 feet up now at the pilot house, and got it put together, and we're going to the next 10 feet, and then we're also
so it has to go all the way over there
to that red stake in the back corner. That's that corner, and there's a corner over here too. You just can't see it for that tree.
And this wide.
Well, this is where the wall fell over it. So we don't know what's on that side because we haven't dug it yet.
The bucket line went right in the middle there, but it stopped right there.
This is where the trommel was at.
So the trommel started right there.
And this is where the 2 twin-cylinder Weatheringtons were at as well. And one of them was a generator. We learned that when we dug in the front of the hull up here on the right-hand side, we found a piece of wire. And then we started finding some porcelain wire insulators. And then we learned that Thomas Edison was an investor in the Portis mine at the same time that this was running. And then we found a porcelain wire insulator with Thomas embossed on it that we're thinking was from Thomas Edison.
Yep.
It's really a lot of cool history, man. We're digging up a lot of stuff. We went back, on the show. They were just getting to the dredge piles. They tried to test it and found little piece of the gold. Oh my gosh!
But we found some really good stuff now.
We found some really big stuff, man. We found some that's got over an ounce of gold in a rock. I mean, it's just amazing.
We're finding the metal that's sitting in them tailing piles. We've only touched like a 40-foot by 40-foot section of like the 5 acres of tailings that's back there.
Yeah, we just getting started good. So and there's all been some filming here and there of different descriptions. We hope to let it out later, but but just a lot going on, and between that and working on rebuilding the dredge is kind of a passion.
And that's the part of it that you guys you have history sitting back here from 1906, right?
Yes, sir.
Have history sitting back here. I don't think there's any other gold dredge or dredge like that around anywhere that can be preserved, and yet you're doing that.
This is the Robinson Gold Dredge. It was a dredge that was built in 1905 in New York. In 1906 is when they actually, started. That's when it was on in the magazines. It was in the mining journals, and there was a picture that we got out of one of the mining journals from 1906. We ended up finding 4 pictures of the dredge. Really good pictures. It had a whole lot about the history, how it got where it was at, and how it ended up getting here. And how it was built, how big it is, what engines they use. So we've got a lot of good information, and it adds right into when we measure everything's right on time. We know that article's perfect.
Yeah. So that's what's important, folks, is to get this thing rebuilt like you're doing, and then let us know what the history of all this is about, because and they haven't. Beyond Oak Island has not done any more shows. We were all hoping they would come down here and do another one. That hasn't happened. So that's why I wanted to get down here and see what's going on. But you've got this history going on in this gold dredge, and it really needs to be preserved. And that's why I applaud you guys of what you're doing. It's got to be
Thank you.
Such hard work.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours.
Like this.
And we're basically rebuilding a 94-foot long vessel, not including the stacker. She's right at 200 feet total. But hull-wise, 94 feet by 32 feet, 8 feet deep. So we want to rebuild it and make it a sunken museum. Yeah, you can literally go on. The water level would be, water line would be probably about 8 inches to a foot below the hull, the deck.
Right.
So when you're walking into the water's just a little below the deck.
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
so you're on a sunken vessel, but yet you're able to use it and as a way of like showing people what we're finding in a museum, you know, and put it back just like it was, you know, as best that we can.
And we've also got a brand new wash plant that we've built.
Yeah, we're working on. Yeah, it's you know, we same thing. Bride of Frankensluice.
Bride of Frankensluice.
You'll see that out here too, because you remember
Yeah.
Frankensluice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Frankensluice had a little accident.
Tree got it.
A tree fell on it. Part
But
of
it's not done. We'll fix it back. We're not taking it out of production.
Right.
We'll use it. But
Yeah.
so we had to come up with something a little bigger, a little better.
That's the beauty of this, is to preserve this history, because I mean, before the show ever started, I had no idea that, for one, North Carolina or this region was the first big gold rush in America. I had no idea until you guys talked about it and had it on the show. And that somebody had taken a dredge that was built originally in Boston?
In New York. Built in New York.
In New York.
Built in New York.
Disassembled, brought out here in the train car,
And reassembled.
Now, where was it reassembled at?
In Fishing Creek, so it's a half a mile in distance from where we're at right now, pretty much. And it they dug a huge pit in Fishing Creek. They built the ship in it. They flooded it, and then it left that creek and dug uphill 100 foot in elevation to get here.
The dredge is right along here. It's where we are right now. Fishing Creek is down here. So it was put in here, but here's the cool thing. It gives you a footprint of where it was digging. It dug all of this out. You can tell this got dug out. And they went up this valley. And we're thinking they went across the road is what we're really thinking. And then they needed a bigger machine to do bigger work. But that dredge, or this dredge, has traveled a bit.
So it, like, we were here, but it dug all the way down
yes, yeah, we were right in there, and it dug all that out. Fishing Creek was right there, so we know it. This line is the Fishing Creek, because the geographical map right here doesn't show you elevations in the other county, because see, that's another county.
Oh, right. Okay.
So that's why you see this line, that's Fishing Creek right there.
And they built dikes, so it stair-stepped its way to get here. There's a little ribbon of water that goes here, but it dug its own waterway and then dammed it up, and then it dug its own waterway and dammed it up. So it came uphill just like that.
But this valley was rich in gold. It's been bleeding gold forever, you know, and there was a lot of fine gold, and that's what they were after.
The last time it was sampled was in the 1980s, and it was sampled in the SA department said that if gold ever got to $1,000 an ounce, there would be $1 billion cut of gold here.
Yeah.
Well, it's $2,400
Pit
an
mine.
ounce.
They were going to pit mine it. That's how you do it. And they just said at the time, they weren't going to do it.
It's
And
cost
so
too
it's
much
been
to get
left.
overburden
you know.
off.
But it bleeds gold. We get gold out of the creek all the time. And the cool thing is, we know that the dredge hit a vein, and they possibly didn't know that. They just thought they hit bedrock. And, you know, they threw all that gold out, that chunky gold out in the quartz.
Specimen nuggets.
Yeah. And so we started finding it, man. You know, it's like,
The ones that I would want to find.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of great coming from it. Other than just the historical end, you've got the gold. There's still a lot of it there, you know.
Yeah, fantastic story.
Yeah.
Now, to add to that, Ross, I know you're gold mining. You're back there working hard gold mining. And Ross, you're running the campground and everything else here. And we brought our whole family, and we'll show some pictures of that. We brought our whole family over here, and we all spent a whole day out here mining gold. We were going through the whole process of, you call it a high banker.
Yep.
Right.
High banker, where you take the spoils right out. You got piles there.
Come out of the ship.
That come out of the ship.
Yep.
We run them through the little high banker, and I found gold, and I'll show you a picture of that too. I got a little vial of gold. I got more than Matty Blake did. When
He rocked it, man.
But also megalodon teeth and everything. So talk a little bit about the campground and what you have going on here for everybody.
So if you come in, I'm open on Saturdays from 10 to 5, or appointment any day of the week. Just call me and I'll hook you up. You come in, park, and you come check out the gift shop. This is our gift shop behind us. Got all kinds of fun little things in there. And then you can go down. I can take you to a tour of the ship. We can go inside of it. I'll show you the artifacts and stuff we found, give you a little history lesson on some of the stuff. Then we can come back and you can get set up in the creek to do some high banking or panning, or you can go to our fossil piles. I've got phosphate that comes out of phosphate mine in South Carolina. I get brought here, and it's enriched with shark's
And
teeth.
you can find this kind of thing right
that's
here.
right.
He's got a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
We found some. Matter of fact, when we were out here, Christina's son, his son, which it was Carter found it. I guess they found a tooth about
Really
that size right
nice
there,
tooth,
a nice one, laying right there on top of this pile. And he was so excited, and we'll show you pictures of that too. So it's all there, and so you got the little campground going on here as well, and you're developing all this as we speak.
That's right. Absolutely. We're growing each week. We're little bit by little bit.
Yep.
We've got a cabin down here. We've got a bunch of tent sites. I've even got a little pop-up camper that I've got down here for rent now. Just trying to grow small and a little bit at a time.
And you're doing it the right way, absolutely. So, yeah, I tell you what's the best time of year to come down for it, though? I mean, right now it's beautiful, but it's hot.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the best
October
time?
through, I would say October through April is cooler. You know, especially in October, the leaves are changing. It is, if you think the mountains and places like that are gorgeous, this place is just like it. The leaves are just beautiful. There's just Roman hills and a creek, and you know, the scenery is really beautiful. October and into November is beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to have these guys, I'm going to put this together into a little video. We'll put it out there for everyone to see. But I'd like to invite you both to come back on the podcast at some time here soon, and we'll go through this a little deeper.
Would love to, yeah.
Hey, if you come through this area, this is a must-stop place. You have to come here. North Carolina Treasure Hunters Campground. And you're right on. This is Story. What's the name of this road?
Yeah,
Taylor Store Road.
Road.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to come here. Call Ross. I'll have a link for all the description down below and his information to get a hold of Ross. Call him up and make a reservation when you want to come and bring your family here or whoever and dig for gold. And I'm going to show you. I found gold.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know how
did
much
good.
is in there, but
You did good.
it was so fun to find that. And then megalodon teeth and everything else. I mean, we found quite a few different teeth. We didn't find any of the big ones. I wanted to find one of them big, one the
Size
size
of
of
your
my
hand.
hand. But next time, we're going to do that for sure. So I'll tell you what, guys, thank you so much for this. This has been such a treat for me, and I know for Christina and the whole family.
We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for showing me everything.
We appreciate it.
I can't tell you how much I have enjoyed this stay. The heat has been bad, but I tell you what, it's been cool to see all of this. It really has.
You got to come back.
We will, definitely will.